Yeah. Yeah. So like I'll make sure I got everything looking good here. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Let me crack open the window. All right. Yeah, so like basically when I was in school, when I was in engineering school, the calculator was like a cheat code. If you had a calculator, it could help you solve a problem without needing to think. And a lot of students learned that, hey, you probably shouldn't use the calculator too much because if you get inside of the exam, only certain types of calculators are allowed. And if you try to, if you're completely dependent on the technology to help you solve the problem, you're going to be in a bad situation. So a lot of us learned like, hey, you got to use your own brain to solve problems. Like, yeah, you could throw it in a calculator. You could look in the back of the book for the answer. You could even find something that like shows you the exact thing of how to break down the equation. But if you don't learn how to do it yourself, you're going to be in trouble. So we had to learn that. But a lot of this younger generation, it's like they maybe haven't learned the downsides of like letting AI do all the thinking for them. Yeah. So do you think people notice? Do you think people notice when they're becoming dependent on AI, or does it happen gradually?
I think people notice. When people use AI as a partner, they know it's AI, but they enjoy it. And when it comes to use AI as a tool, people notice. As long as it works, people doesn't care whether it's AI or not, because knowing how to use AI to solve your problem is also a skill, I think. But people can get impositive, I think, about this AI in the future, because people are afraid of we cannot got fully control of AI or something like that, or like we will back to a stone age after a great world war and we don't have AI. So people are afraid of it just because we are afraid of our future. That's my opinion on this.
Yeah, and I mean, so for the younger generation, I don't even think the younger generation knows that they should be afraid of being dependent on AI. I think it's only the older generation, because a lot of us grew up on movies like, that movie The Matrix, right? The whole premise of that movie is that humans become dependent on AI technology, and the AI takes over the world and creates this like this kind of hell on earth thing. And but that movie came out in like the year 2000 or something. So like the younger generation, they aren't old enough to remember that. It's only us older people. So they might not even look at it the way we look at it, as like a threat to society. They just, it makes my life easy.
Yeah, and also an interesting trend is that we used to watch films that Hollywood made. Nowadays, young generation can even make their own movie using AI. So they have different views on these kind of things.
Yeah, you can like create your own entertainment. Like, it's crazy. Like, the world we're going into is going to be interesting to see what happens. If someone uses AI every day for writing, planning, and decision making, how might their thinking change after several years?
So basically, AI nowadays help us do things just to help us. Once we ask them what our task is, and they will do it for us. So I think this will change people's views when it comes to a question. We may find ourselves a better questioner, but not a better, question solvers. So it's kind of like we are the contract. I don't know how to say that in English, so I change another example. It's kind of like we are the one who ask questions, but don't care how it solve it. We just want to solve the question after we ask give our needs, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This will change.
Yeah. And I just think it says like, how might our thinking change? Basically, we're going to get a lot lazier with thinking. So I think that for the most part, if AI is giving us all the answers and AI is controlled by big companies, they're controlled by big corporations, basically a lot of our thinking is going to be controlled by some random big corporation that gives us all the answers. And I think that could have a big effect on politics. I think that's why China, they probably want to keep the outside government's AI technology away from Chinese people, because, that can have a really big impact on their country and create like a lot of messy situations. Because like, what if different AIs give different answers for things? So it could be kind of messy.
Yeah, because the situation in China is more like this, like the situation you talk about. The Chinese government have more control on the Chinese company that make AI. And also this year, I don't know whether you know about Manus and Meta. So basically the thing is, Meta bought a Chinese AI company called Manus, but Chinese government, put a stop to this kind of things. So I think Chinese government have more, are a reminder of this kind of things. Like they have to control the AI, also control to control the AI, they must control the AI company. These kind of things.
Yeah. I forgot the name of the company. I saw that in the news. Like Meta, they tried to buy like a Chinese company. I forgot. They make like a very popular AI product. I can't think of what the name of it is, but they tried. Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I saw it in the news. Like
the name is Manus.
That's like the big company.
Yes.
But they make.
Oh, I see.
They make something else. They make like a popular, like if you say the name of it.
No, you mean the product?
Is it DeepSeek? Was it like? Did they make DeepSeek?
No, not DeepSeek. DeepSeek is another company in China. They are not the same.
Okay.
Manus make the same. It's kind of like you run on computer and you ask the AI to do the things for you on computer. Because nowadays we just ask our question and AI give the answers, but Manus can give us, we ask the AI and Manus can let the computer do it by themselves. We don't need to, input or use our mouse or keyboard, something like that.
Yeah, got it. Cool. Oh, that's a good one. Is the real danger that AI gives wrong answers, or that people stop questioning the answers?
I don't think AI is smarter enough to cheat human, because because we usually find the answer AI give us have some flaws or some imagination, illusion on this kind of questions. So once people find that AI is not that smart, they will question the answers AI give us. So it's not a big deal. I think it's not a real danger. For now, yes.
I think you have a lot of faith in people's intelligence. I don't really have that much faith in people's intelligence because, like, I saw a story this past week. Like, this girl was on a group project, and like all the people in the group were using AI, and they didn't even realize that the answers that they were getting from AI went like they were supposed to like present a debate argument, and they weren't even using their brain to the point where they didn't even realize the AI was giving them arguments against what they were supposed to say. So they went and gave a presentation, and they were actually arguing against their own point. Like a whole group of people, a whole group of university students in America. Like, and like, you know, how you get like a whole group of people acting that way, they don't even realize it, that, you know, that kind of stuff happens. So I really don't have that much faith in people realizing that the AI is lying to them. I think a lot of people just aren't, they're going to turn off their brains. Like, for example, like a book summary, right? Like, this is one of my favorite books here, Mastery by Robert Greene. And if I asked AI to just give me a book summary of it, it might give me like a few good points, like the main points. But I read this book like 14 years ago. I spent a lot, like it's a pretty hefty book, like 300 pages. I read it and I spent time thinking about it, and I absorbed the information a different way. An AI book summary is not going to give me the level of comprehension that I actually got from reading the book. Like, whenever I've looked at AI book summaries, it only gives me like 20% of the actual books that I've read. I'm like, what? If I read this book summary, if I read this AI book summary, I wouldn't know anything useful. All like the most useful stuff in the book is stuff you're just gonna come across. It's like some random paragraph that you happen to just read. Oh, that paragraph right there. I got paragraphs in this book that I come back to years later. Like, even though I read this book like 14 years ago, I still come back to it. I'm like, that paragraph right there, that one right there, I need to look at that one again. You don't get that with AI. Like, AI doesn't know what's going to have an impact on you. So if you just put your faith 100% in AI that it's going to give you what you need, I think you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But the point I want to express is the same worries can be opposed to internet, can be opposed to media. The main point is, just like you said, you need to do it yourself to, you know, double check the information you got whenever it comes from media, from news, from something like that. Also, when it comes to read the book, you need to open the paragraph to find the original saying where it comes and to read it. Yes. So the thing is, we need to, when it comes to important things or something, we need to double check. But I think we don't have that, you know, that time to do everything kind of like this. So sometimes we, you know, just we know it's not 100% correct, but we still use it because it stands. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be like the news, where like you get your news from like a trusted source, and that way it kind of saves you time. Like, okay, I trust this news channel to not lie to me, so I'm not gonna check.
Yes.
Like, I have like all this guy's books, like Robert Greene, he writes all these books right here. I've read all his books. I pretty much trust his word for the most part, so I don't really go through and research his sources, because he has built that level of trust with me. But for like some random thing, I think, you know, we're gonna have to verify stuff. Yeah, I don't trust a lot of stuff I see on the internet these days, unless it comes from like a verified source. And even then, you gotta double check these days. All right, please read this vocabulary for me.
Over reliance, depending too much on a tool until your own ability becomes weaker. Over reliance on AI can reduce independent problem solving.
Yep, this one right here.
Critical thinking, the ability to question, analyze, compare, and evaluate ideas before accepting them. AI is useful, but it cannot replace critical thinking.
Okay.
Cognitive overloading, using a tool to handle mental tasks that your brain would normally do. Using GPS all the time is a form of cognitive overloading.
Yeah, cognitive offloading.
Cognitive offloading.
Yeah.
Skill atrophy, the weakening of skill because it is not practiced enough. Writing skills may suffer from skill atrophy if AI writes everything.
Have you heard this word before? Atrophy? Atrophy? It basically means
what is atrophy?
Like something is weaker, so like your muscles might atrophy if you don't use them. I heard that Chinese students, a lot of Chinese people are having a more difficult time writing Chinese now, like writing the Chinese characters, because most people don't write anymore. I heard this happens to Japanese people too. This happens to Japanese people who leave Japan for a while. But basically, for those kind of certain type of special characters, like, you know, even for English, like if I haven't written English for a long time and I pick up a pencil, I'm like, oh snap, I haven't done this for a while. It's like you're, you know, it's because writing is a pretty complex skill. You're like, you know, writing really weird characters, so you can get bad at it if you don't do it for a while.
Yes. Especially when I write my name, I noticed that I write my name, you know, more and more ugly, because I never use a pen, and the moment I use pen is to write my name, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Judgment, the ability to decide whether something is useful, accurate, ethical, or appropriate. AI can give information, but humans still need judgment.
Yep. Ethical. So that's a whole other can of worms. Ethics.
Okay, so intellectual passivity. A habit of accepting information without questioning, testing, or thinking deeply about it. So AI can encourage intellectual passivity if users accept every answer.
Indeed. So tell me, which concept is the biggest risk of AI? Which concept is the biggest risk of AI use? Over reliance, skill atrophy, or intellectual passivity?
Okay, so intellectual. No. I think it's. Let me think. It's critical thinking. But okay, the thing is that the critical thinking is, I think, is the most useful, most important skills we need to have in the society. But what AI can do harm to us is, I think, is over reliance. I think it's over reliance.
Oh yeah.
Is the first one, if I remember well, because when we come up with some problem or question, what's the first thing you do? You ask AI. If you ask AI, you have over reliance on AI. Once we don't have AI, we even don't know what to do. But if we don't have AI, okay, this is a very interesting. That in my point of view, I think human have a strong adaptation to environment. So if we don't have AI, we will figure out what to do. So over reliance is kind of like something. It's kind of like a false concept to me, because it's not a problem. Because once we don't have something, we will figure out by ourselves. But critical thinking is a thing it's hard for us to develop critical thinking, because if we don't have critical thinking, we will be cheated by AI. But if we rely on AI, it's okay, because sometimes we use AI to give a basic understanding of something, but we still have our own thoughts on it. So that's my opinion on your question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, over reliance, it could be like a thing. So, for example, if AI ever breaks, right? So, for example, my phone is broken. Like, I have a phone is broken right now, and I was basically kind of screwed. I was like, okay, I can't even call a taxi, can't, like, I'm definitely reliant on my phone. Like, if it's like broken, half my day is kind of screwed over. So I think there is a such thing as over reliance on technology. I think they're all gigantic issues. The thing that's probably worse for society is like lack of critical thinking. But I don't think that most people use critical thinking in the first place. Like, I think like the people who are lazy with AI, they probably are going to be lazy anyway in their critical thinking ability. AI just makes it easier for them to be even lazier. So I think the people who, their critical thinking skills are not going to develop, like those people probably weren't going to be critical thinkers in the first place. So yeah, it's always been that way. It's always been people who, they just don't want to use their brain. They just want to do whatever they're told, and that's just how it is, And AI, and the technology makes it easier these days, but I don't think it's. It definitely create more people who are lazy, but I think there'll also be a lot of people who are going to use it to an advantage to become smarter. Why might struggling with a problem be necessary for real learning?
So if we learn things from book, we don't learn things from what we come to a problem, we solve it. Because it's kind of like you read a history book, but you never meet some scenarios that happen in the history book. But only if you face up some real challenge in your real life that have the similar situation in the history book, you know how to solve it. Also, you have a fully understanding of the problem. So this also suits the question here. Struggling with a problem is necessary for real learning. When it come to learn things, we can use AI for a tool, but it's not enough, because AI now is not smart enough, and even AI is smart enough, I don't think we learn from AI is enough. We need to learn from solving problems.
Yeah. Now, we learn from trial and error. Like, people hate trial and error, but it's like that's kind of how you learn. Like, you try something and it doesn't work out, and you try again. That's kind of how we develop as people. We just, develop skills by trying different stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Is AI more like a calculator, a search engine, a teacher, or a replacement brain?
It's more like a search engine, I think. It's kind of like a book that have everything. But I don't know, the book have everything. I don't know what's that in English. But when we have problem, we will look up the book and have a basic of a simple understanding of it, and we will choose what to do and or what to go in deeper. So it's like the thing when we first met when we meet new problem, new things, we will ask the search engine. It replace our use of the internet search engine. So that's why Google or some company like this, they are struggling with this kind of situation because people use AI, don't use search engine, and they make their own AI on search. So for another choice, a calculator, teacher, replacement brain, I don't think AI is smart enough to be these kind of things like teacher or replacement. Even calculator, AI can do bad tasks on math. So it's more like a search engine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can be any of these depending on how you want to use it. Probably for a lot of people, it is becoming a replacement for their brain because they'd rather use AI instead of using their brain. For me, I typically use AI as a teacher. I use it for a lot of learning stuff. And yeah, search engine, calculator. I use it to calculate how much food I eat every day, like my diet. So it can be anything you want it to be. It's probably best to not have it as a replacement brain, but I have a feeling in the future a lot of people are going to be using it as a replacement brain, especially as it gets better and better.
Yes.
Should people ask AI for answers first, or should they think first and then use AI second?
Oh, okay. So this is a hard question. For me, I use AI for answers because especially when I want to buy something, but I don't know. For example, if I want to buy a car, I don't know. I'm newer in this area. I don't know what one I want to buy. I will ask AI. AI can give me some basic understanding of it. But if I learn by myself, I will look up in the internet. But the things you check on the internet, there are too many of them, and sometimes you need to summarize by yourself. It's very annoying. But AI can summarize at the first time, and then I can go deeper. For example, I want to buy a car. You give me some brand like Ford, like BMW, and I go check deeper on this kind of brand. So I use AI for a basic and because when things come to basic, it's not easy to be incorrect. For example, if I want to ask them some basic common sense, AI can give me correct answers. So I use AI by first to get the basic things, and then I go deeper by myself. So that's the way I use AI. But sometimes people use AI all the time. I don't agree with that. I think this kind of people need to think first, to use their brain first, because if they don't use it, the AI can do a very harm on them.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of so tempting to just use AI, especially if they make it easy. Like now, you gotta like pull out your phone and like talk to the AI or text it. But soon it will just be like the AI is just gonna always be active all the time. So the barrier to actually needing to like put information in the AI to get an answer is gonna get lower and lower. So I think it's just gonna be the easier it gets, the more likely people are gonna be dependent on it, and they're gonna be less likely to put the hard work in of thinking. Okay, now we just got some true or false before we end the class. So AI does not make people lazy, it reveals who was already lazy. True or false?
True. Because people who are not lazy, they just use AI as a tool to help them to do more tasks. But people who are lazy, they use AI to help them to do less tasks. That's the difference. So it depends.
Yeah. A lot of humans are just naturally lazy, so I think AI just shows people, like, when I look, it's so easy to see on the internet who's too lazy to write their own like social media post. It like looks all AI formatted.
Yep.
Yeah. In the future, independent thinking will become more valuable because AI answers will be everywhere. True or false?
True, and also I think it's not only in the future, in the whole history of humankind, independent thinkers is always the most important in the whole human area. This kind of situation can be, the sentence can be in the before independent thinking will be more important because blah blah blah, religions something like that or something will be everywhere. You need to be independent thinking, some kind of like something kind of like this.
Yeah. Independent thinkers are typically the people who run the world. So I think pretty much the main thing you need to be successful in life for the average person, you just need a working brain and the ability to kind of think for yourself. If you can do that, you'll be ahead of most people, because most people want to just be told what to do, don't want to have to think for themselves. But yeah,
Yes.
we'll see. All right, man. Okay, Tony, great class, great chat class. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
Okay, see you.
See ya. Okie dokie. How's it going, y'all? How are y'all, man? Good morning from Thailand. What's up, guys? Great teacher. Thank you, asked Hakuren. Guys, my other phone is broken until about maybe 2 days later. Like today, I went to the phone shop place. Okay, so for you guys who don't know, like I have a live stream I did a couple days ago, right? It was Thursday night America time. I was on the way to the phone shop. I was live streaming and then my phone died. So here's the backstory. My phone got cracked. My phone fell down, got cracked, stopped working. Then I have this backup phone, so my Friday I used this phone, my backup phone, for a live stream. And then I was on the way Friday while live streaming to get my phone fixed. And the store was closed because Friday was a holiday. So then I went yesterday, Saturday, in Thailand time. And they say they're gonna get my phone back to me on Tuesday. So anyway, I'm looking at your comments on the computer right here. I'm not looking at them on my phone right now. That's how it is, man. Who's in the chat? Babadook. What up, Babadook? I just saw your photo you sent me, the resume photo. Slice that up to you as soon as I can. Nonchalant B, Bishop, what up, what up? Watching you teach English over the past 8 months has really made me interested in teaching. Give you a better understanding of people and develop cool relationship with other races. Yeah, man, teaching is really cool, bro. It's like, so for you guys who don't know, man, I have a lot of different English teaching content on this channel. I recently went through and updated my content. I updated my playlist, right? So I have like an English teaching playlist on this channel where you can watch all my English teaching videos. So you can see I teach class different kinds of ways depending on depending on the type of student and depending on what the situation is. Here's my English teaching playlist for you guys. Let me know if you guys can see that. I got like dang near 45 videos on this channel related to English teaching. The majority of those videos are me live streaming my class. So if you want to see me teach, I think I literally got something like 30 live streams on this channel of myself teaching. So check out that playlist, guys. Like, you know, it can probably, if you want to see what it's like being a teacher in a variety of environments with different student situations, blah blah blah, I got that playlist organized for you. But yeah, teaching's fun. It's pretty chill. Jeff says the class is over fast. Jeff, I don't show you the entire class. Like, Jeff, I don't live stream the entire class. I only live stream part of the class. So, Jeff, I think you were watching, Jeff, but like when I first started doing my English teaching live streams, I would live stream the entire class. So it would be like you guys would watch me teach for like 2 hours. And then gradually I decided to shorten that because if I just, while I'm teaching, I can't really talk to you guys. Like during this whole time I've been live streaming, I was teaching, so I can't really talk to you guys. So I only show you guys a short percentage of the class I teach. That way it's not like, you just want to watch me talk and teach. So I got live streams on this channel, bro. I got live streams on this channel where I'm like teaching for 2 hours, and then I do like some Q&A with the audience. But I decided, hey, it's probably more efficient if I start teaching before, and then part way through towards the end, then I'll start live streaming. That way you guys still get to watch me teach, but you're not going to be sitting there for like an hour or 2 hours waiting on me to answer your questions, right? Today you had to sit for like 30 minutes. I think that's okay. You get to watch me teach for 30 minutes, and then we do some Q&A. People have time to come into the chat. I think that's how, a good way to do it. I'm gonna stick with doing it this way for a while. Can't wait to finish this degree. Yeah, man, get that degree, bro. Degree is cool. I mean, look, you don't need a degree to teach English, especially with online options now, but it's like, it does help. And it's like a backup plan, right? It's like, okay, guys, one of the benefits that we have over here is that, like, when you come from like a rich country like America or something, you go to these like developing countries and where education isn't really there. And it's like, you can kind of get like a pretty good situation. So, if you have a degree from an American university, you can come overseas and, be put in charge. You'll be put in charge of all the other people a lot of times, or at least you'll be a lot more respected in whatever organization you are. But you gotta deal with the trade-offs, though, right, guys? So this life overseas, there's benefits and there's trade-offs. It's like you go to a developing country, you get the benefit of your dollar stretching further, but you also might deal with like it's a developing country, so they don't have like the same kind of rules and regulations you might have in your country. Like in America, if the police shake you down, you freaking sue everybody, get millions of dollars. Like if the police extort you, in America, I pray to God that the police try to extort me whenever I visit America. I pray to God, because you're gonna be getting paid, bro. But in these other countries, getting extorted by the police, that's just how things are done, man. It's like, of course you're going to get extorted by the police. Like, that's just what they do, bro. Like, but in America, you get paid, man. Siri is AI. I never use Siri. AI is making us lazy. It's making us lazy, and it's already revealing who's already lazy. I mean, the computer gets the job done. I don't really use AI. I don't have much use for it, at least right now. I've been using it to ask about building a PC and travel questions. If you're not using AI, you're probably missing out on a lot of stuff. So for example, I use AI for my diet. Like whenever when you guys watch me during my live streams, sometimes you see me, I take a photo of my food and I put it in ChatGPT and I'm like, okay, what the heck's this? Should I eat it? How much should I eat? AI has been really, really good for tracking my diet. So that's like one use case that probably everyone here should probably use it for. What up, Jerome Payne? What up? Jeff. Flight, what is it like teaching in person? Like, what is the basic daylight like? And I'll watch the playlist tonight for in class. Babadook, look, I have a China video. It's like one of my most popular English teaching videos. It got like 19,000 views. Something about like, do Chinese, like the thumbnails, like, do Chinese people respect me, blah, blah, blah. I gave you like a day in the life of a teacher. That was like during exam week of me teaching in China. So you see, I miss China, bro. Your boy Danny, I'm going to head back to China soon. I'm just really busy, so I don't feel like hopping on a flight. But you guys should expect me to... When was it? It was like last summer. I was in Japan. So I think it's time for me to do another trip. I said I wanted to take a break from traveling because I wanted to spend my time focusing on learning languages. Because look, hold on. I went to Japan and I went to Kazakhstan in the past 2 years, right? And going to those two countries, it made me realize that I do not want to travel again to another country unless I can speak the language at least a basic level. Like going to Japan last year really drilled that in my brain. It's like, I don't want to come back here unless I can speak at least a little bit of Japanese. So one of the reasons I haven't been traveling since last year, the Japan trip, is that I just want to focus on learning language. Like in a couple months, I'm going to start learning Japanese. I started back learning Russian the past month. For you guys who don't know, I studied Russian for like a year and a half. But then the war with Russia, Ukraine started, and I was like, oh damn, probably never going to use this Russian language. Probably shouldn't be going to Russia. But there are a lot of other countries. I mean, there are a lot of Russians everywhere outside of Russia. And there are a lot of people who speak Russian, so I'm back to learning Russian. And did you guys see my new video, my English teaching video? I was speaking Russian to that lady. That was a dope video. How much, hold on, how much can you make after one class? It depends on the type of job, bro. I've had jobs, so Jeff asked me how much money I can make from one teaching class. Jeff, have you read my free Quickstart English teaching guide, Jeff? Jeff, I have a feeling, Jeff, I'm really shocked about you, Jeff. Like, Jeff, I'm really shocked, man. Like, you're the guy who shows up to my live streams like damn near every week. But you're asking questions that I answer in pretty much every live stream. I'm really shocked. I really don't know what Jeff is doing while he's watching these live streams, but he shows up to almost every live stream I do. Like 98% of my live streams, or 99%, Jeff is always there. But then he's asking like basic questions that I answer in every live stream. So Jeff, did you read my free Quickstart English teaching guide? I made a free Quickstart English teaching guide for you guys. It answers a lot of questions about money. I'll put the guide in the chat for you. Like the link doesn't download or what? It doesn't send to your email? Let me know. What do you mean? Every time I ask and try to download, it doesn't work. So you mean it doesn't get sent to your email? But anyways, like if you look at the free Quickstart guide, I talk about how the variety of pay you can get from different jobs. Wait, which one, Jeff? Like, Jeff, right, it doesn't send to my email, or I click the link and it doesn't download. Tell me which one exactly. It doesn't go to my email, or it doesn't download when I get the email. Let me know. I'll check the link for you. But yeah, in my free Quickstart guide, I tell you about the different types of pay you can get. So for example, I had one job where I was teaching in person at a school in China. It was like a rich freaking middle school. All the kids got designer watches on. I was making like $70 an hour at that job, bro. That was crazy money, bro. It doesn't send. Okay. I don't know, Jeff. Maybe I need to switch to a new email provider. Did you try a new email, Jeff? Did you check your spam? Did you search Flight Madness? Search Flight Madness? You tried multiple emails? But anyway, I list out the numbers you can get from teaching in that guide. I'm checking your comments here on the computer, y'all, because my other phone is broken. But yeah, Babadook, look at my playlist. I've got a couple like day in the life videos on my playlist. Guys, I recently went through and reorganized my my playlist on YouTube. So you guys check those out. Like if you're just sitting around relaxing one day, or you're just like, you're cleaning the house, put on my playlist, bro. Like, I got like 11 playlists on this channel. I even went through, I reorganized a lot of my old videos too. Like the videos when I first started doing YouTube. When I was with my ex-Chinese, I keep calling her ex-Chinese girlfriend, but really the correct phrase is ex-girlfriend. Well, actually, no, ex-Chinese girl. Yeah, I guess ex-Chinese girlfriend. That makes grammatical sense. But it kind of makes it sound like she's not Chinese anymore. My ex-Chinese. I should say my Chinese ex-girlfriend. That's the correct way to say it, right? My Chinese ex-girlfriend. So anyway, I went through and organized my old videos, and even I have I got this one playlist on my channel. Cause you guys know I'm kind of an informational guy. I like to give kind of ways to think about the world. That's kind of information I like to share. And I have one playlist called the Expat Mindset. The Expat Mindset. I put a bunch of videos on there. So, you're sitting around the house relaxing, man, watch my videos, bro. I got the playlist organized for you. Just put it on play, let it rock, man. What up, Aubrey Smoke, man? What up? W Secrets, man. What up, W Secrets? You know how it is, bro. We getting this online money, bro. We living the life that those other guys, they pretend to live, man. Those other guys, they might be working from their computer, but they're working from their computer in the States, bro. We're working from overseas, beautiful Thailand, man. We got the necktie, got the beautiful snow bunny on the necktie. I know you guys like that necktie, man. She looked like she getting a hit from the bike. Got the snow bunny on the necktie, getting a hit from the bike. Huh. Yep, there's pros and cons to everything, man. Like if you want to move over to these other countries where your dollar stretches further, the reason your dollar stretches further is because they don't have as many regulations and stuff like that. Oh, I got a friend. He just got a week ago. He got hit by a car. Like this lady, she freaking reversed the car, backed into a crowd of people. He got his hand broke. He said he almost died. You go to a hospital here, you better have some cash, bro. Make sure you got a good hospital on speed dial. I pay for insurance, so if I ever get into any crap, man, I know which hospital to go to. I know I got scammed by one hospital in China, bro. The stuff these hospitals in these other countries do, if they did that to you in America, bro, you could sue for millions. I have multiple situations I've encountered overseas where a doctor was kind of sketchy, said or did some sketchy stuff to me. If that was in America, bro, your boy Danny would be eating shrimp and lobster every day, bro. It'd be lawsuits. Lawsuits would be raining from the sky, bro. Let me tell you one story. One time I had hernia surgery. And then later on, one of the doctors texted me. He was texting me some gay stuff, right? He was texting me hey, man, I saw how big you are, man. It's really, something gay, yo. He was texting me something super gay. And I was telling my friends, I sent screenshots to my friends, and I was like, bro, if this happened in America, like if a doctor was texting you about how like big your dangling is and how blah blah blah, bruh, millions of dollars. But you can't do that in these other countries. In these other countries, like doctors, they do and say weird stuff. That's just how it is. You can't sue them. Bruh, I was man. Like, say it right there over text too, where I can show it to everybody. Like, if your doctor in America did that to you, like if your doctor in America who performed surgery on you sent you some messages talking about how sexy your private parts are, bruh. I'm not kidding about that doctor. He was like so I had hernia surgery back in like 2018. I went to like one of the top hospitals in China, and on the surgery team, it was like the Chinese doctor is like the head doctor, and like he had like a bunch of like the assistants. They were like people from Bangladesh, India, whatever. The doctor who texted me all that gay crap, he was like one of the assistants on the research team. So he was technically part of the surgery that happened on me. Like, I think he's like the one who, he drew the line on my stomach where they would cut me open. I think the doctor's the one who cut me open. I can't remember, but basically, bruh, if that happened in America, man. Anyway, I'm not kidding, bro. I don't tell any lies, man. I don't tell any lies. Can I still book a call with you, or should I hold off a few days until your phone situation is taken care of? Yeah, you can book a call. I don't, I do my calls from the computer. So it's a call. Like, we do the calls. So guys, so you don't know, I got the link in the chat about my free 15-minute call. In case you don't see it, I'll post it again. I got a link in the chat, my free 15-minute call. And yeah, basically, we just do the call. We do the call over WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram. WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram. Those are the three places I do the call over. You know, I used to not do calls over WhatsApp. I used to be like, no, I only do Facebook or Instagram. But then I was like, okay, what the heck, we can do WhatsApp. And now, like, 90% of people, they always want to do the call, or 80%, they want to do the call over WhatsApp. So I guess it's good that I offer WhatsApp now, because that seems like it's the most convenient for most people. With IG and, like, Facebook, you got, like, send a friend request and blah, blah, blah. WhatsApp is more straightforward. Bros exploring Asia, yes, sir. I'm really excited to go back to Central Asia, bro. Like, during the live stream the other day, I was thinking about my experience with Mongolian women, bro. Mongolia, like, bros aren't going out to Mongolia, bro. Mongolia is like a hidden. I was like one of the first guys to go to Kazakhstan and like make a viral video about, like, one of the first black guys. And Mongolia is up there too, bro. The thing is, though, for Central Asia, flights are like way more expensive because a lot of people don't go there. So, for example, if I want to fly from China to Thailand, I can get a flight for $100. If I want to go from like Thailand to Japan, I can get a flight for like $130. But when I flew from Thailand to Kazakhstan, I think I paid over $300 or something for a flight. Because flight prices are more expensive because a lot of people don't go there. So whenever you're going to countries where a lot of people don't travel there, expect for the flight prices to be a lot more expensive. And they don't really have like the tourism. Like here in Thailand, it's like it's a tourism country. So, like, you know, the prices are pretty regulated. You know, they're a competitive country. In those other countries, it's like I rented an Airbnb for like a week and a half or something. Crazy prices on that one, but whatever, man. I had me a Mongolian baddie in China, bro. That's what I'm thinking about. Is Russian language hard to learn? Yeah, I think so. I've had Vietnam on my mind for teaching. Kind of got me curious, even though I want to settle in the Philippines. Vietnam is a hot spot, bro. Jerome, I don't know if you saw the news. Vietnam is spending a lot of money on English education because they want to compete with Thailand. So in Vietnam, expect to see a lot more English teaching jobs coming out of Vietnam. Vietnam and Cambodia are really great spots for English teaching. Highly recommend you check out those spots. I need my degree to access the jobs I want in America. I'm not working no warehouse labor, low-paying job. I have to come back and access to the in-person teaching jobs overseas. I mean, you can get in-person teaching jobs overseas without a degree. If I can make an extra $50, I would leave the U.S. Like an extra $50 a day? Is that what you mean? What do you mean by extra? Jerome, can you explain what you're talking about there? I'm not clear on what you mean. An extra $50 in what kind of scenario? This war is making it hard on people who want to travel, leave the U.S. Yes, U.S. Yeah, and that deals with today's topic, right? That deals with today's topic. So today's topic is why there's no perfect time to move overseas, right? Like a lot of guys, they want to wait for like the perfect setup to move overseas, right? Like for me, it's crazy. Like how are you you're freaking miserable in America, right? A lot of guys are miserable in America. They're miserable in the States. But they want to say, oh man, I need to have like the perfect English teaching job before I leave America, man. Some dude hit me up the other day. He was like, man, I need to be making like, I mean, just in general, right? Guys say this all the time. They want to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up. They want to be freaking millionaires before they decide to relocate overseas. They're waiting for like the perfect set. They want the perfect job. In reality, guys, here's what you gotta do, man. When I left America, I was about $15,000 in debt from student loans. I didn't have much savings, and I had like a few credit cards. I think I had like 4 credit cards, and I made it work. It was a rough start, but I got overseas and I made it work. And my first job was kind of meh. It wasn't that great, but over time, it got better. So my first job wasn't, that awesome, but like it got me overseas, and from there, I pivoted to better jobs. And every year since then, my life gets better and better. But I got started. A lot of guys are looking for like some kind of perfect starting situation, and I think you're wasting time. Find good enough. Like get started with good enough. Okay, this is good enough for me I'm in a nice city, nice country, my job's good enough. Get started. And then you can like move up and elevate in life. But you want everything to be perfect as soon as you land. I just think, you're wasting time. You're wasting valuable time. And time is a valuable resource, guys. You don't get it back. All those years you wait in America, you're over there watching me clap cheeks, man. You're over here watching me clap cheeks. When you could be over here clapping your own cheeks, bro. Well, not clapping your own cheeks. Like, that's probably kind of weird. But you could be clapping cheeks, yourself, man. Like, not just me over here doing it. Like, you could be doing it too, bro. I'm checking your comments. Do you watch Razor? No, I don't watch him. That's why we have the highest paid doctors. Yep. If I get a teaching job in Vietnam, I'm out. Might have my Filipina come there too. Yeah, man. It's possible, Jerome. It's possible. There's nothing impossible about that, man. Will Cambodia be good for possible online English teaching? Anywhere that you have internet is good for online English teaching. One of my gripes about the Philippines is that, like, when I taught in the Philippines, the internet kept going out. Like, I was in Manila and I was in Cebu. I was teaching English online the entire time I was there. I think I was teaching English like 6 days a week or something like that when I was traveling. I was traveling in the Philippines, and I was also teaching English a lot. But I don't know how much I was teaching, but I was teaching a lot. And the internet kept going out. It was very stressful. It was very stressful. I'm lucky I didn't get caught. I'm lucky, like, you know, a lot of stuff happened in the Philippines that was messing up my teaching. Like, the internet kept going out. I got locked out of my my hotel part ways through a class. Like, something happened, and like I got locked out of my hotel room. So I had to go. I was on, like, I don't know what floor I was on in the hotel. I had to go down. But hey, man, I'm locked out of my hotel. Like, you know, I got a class I got to get back to. Bruh, it was stressful, man. Teaching English in the Philippines is a nice place. Like, you can live a nice life there, but you got to get that, like, Starlink thing that lets you, like, hotspot the Wi-Fi, like the Elon Musk Wi-Fi. That way you don't have to deal with that BS, man. You don't have to deal with that BS. It's funny how the Asian countries spend a lot of money on English teaching, but the average local can't speak English. I guess only the rich have access to those kind of luxuries. I mean, there's a lot of different Asian countries, bro. And you got to understand, like, for example, in Japan, they learn English for exams. So Japanese people spend a lot of money on English education, but the average Japanese person, I think the average person in Thailand speaks better English than the average Japanese person. Because they do it for the exam. Basically, if I can make any money online, I'd leave the US pronto. Tell moms to sell all my stuff, I'm out. Alright, fair enough. Did you see Spirit Airlines shut down because of oil prices? I don't know if it was oil prices the reason they shut down. I think they shut down just because they're a crappy airline. Like, isn't Spirit Airlines Spirit Airlines like the ghetto ratchet airline? People getting into fights. Guys, I've been catching flights. I've been into multiple airports in multiple different countries. I don't think I've ever seen a fight pop off in any airline. But in Spirit Airlines, apparently fighting is just part of the experience, right? And it kind of deals with, like, okay, like, we talked about how, like, you go to these developing countries. You're in these developing countries living good because your dollar stretches further. But you let all these other people in too. Like, the reason that Thailand or Pattaya, the city I'm in, Pattaya, has so many crash outs is because the price is so low. The price is so low to come here that a lot of crash out people from rich Western countries can come here and live good, and they don't need to change their degenerate behavior, right? They have degenerate behavior. They don't have to change that because they got their money stretches further over here. So that's why it's good to have, like, go to kind of places that are a little bit more expensive. Like, that's why, for example, Kazakhstan, right? Like, a lot of guys always talking about, oh man, I want to get away from Pookie and Ray Ray. I want to get away from these ninjas, these YNs. You're not going to see any ninjas in Central Asia, bro. You're not going to see any ninjas in Kazakhstan. You might see some ninjas in Bangkok, you know. You almost certainly going to see some ninjas in Colombia, maybe in Brazil. But if you go to the places where, like, you know, they're afraid to go to, or like the price keeps those people out. Working in the US shortens your lifespan. Other countries besides Japan actually have a work-life balance. Yeah, other countries besides Japan and South Korea. Japan and South Korea are kind of terrible for like them. You as an American can go over to Japan and South Korea and have a better life than they can. You can have work-life balance, but the Japanese and Korean people, they're kind of screwed, you know. Can I teach in a university in China? Yeah, probably. Japan, Korea, and Middle East without my degree. In the Middle East, I'm not sure. People have definitely done that in Japan, China, and South Korea. People have done that. But I will say that for Japan and South Korea, those countries are more strict when it comes to degree requirements. Because in general, those societies are more strict. Like Japan, like Japanese people are really big on following rules. Japanese people care a lot about following rules. So like for that kind of country, they want to like, you know, you're less likely. In Japan, or I mean, I'll say in China, they freaking bend the rules. They break the rules depending on the situation. Like the law is very flexible in a lot of these other countries. But in a country like Japan, they're really big on following rules. That's the rub. Philippines have brownouts. I was taking tag along a few years ago. My teacher had to reschedule a few times. Starlink and solar panels are for the Philippines. Yeah. That dang internet, bro. That was like the nail in the coffin for me for the Philippines. It was like, okay, I can't deal with this. I traveled to multiple cities. My phone stopped working. I don't know what's stopping them from fixing it, man. You'd think they would have this problem fixed by now. Maybe it's gotten better. I went to the Philippines. Right now, it's been over 2 years since I went to the Philippines. So, maybe things have gotten better. Okay, so being boots on the ground in Thailand, you'd have a better chance of getting an online teaching job. You don't... Sure. But like generally for online teaching, you don't need to be boots on the ground for a country because, for example, I was in Philippines and I was in Thailand and I was in Bali, Indonesia. I was still teaching my students. Your location doesn't really matter that much for online teaching job. I'm not sure how you got that, how you reached that conclusion, Babadook. You'll get more opportunities passed your way when you're overseas. That's what I want to say. So you'll get more opportunities passed your way when you're overseas compared to like when you're in the States. Like, okay, I said this in my previous video. I just dropped the English teaching video on my channel. It's doing pretty good. The numbers are doing pretty good. You get a lot more opportunities. You're going to come across a lot more opportunities when you're overseas compared to when you're in the States. So a lot of the opportunities that I come across, like the teaching opportunities, every other opportunities, like opportunities with the ladies, you know, whatever. I wouldn't have gotten that if I was in the States. The fact that I was overseas, I had opportunities passed my way. Like my first online teaching job I ever got, I think that was like in 2018. One of my coworkers at my university, he just passed me a job. He was like, hey, this lady in Shenzhen's like a part of China. This Chinese business lady, she wants you to teach her business English. Can you do it? I was like, sure. And the lady, she paid me up front. Like she paid me like a lump sum for all the classes. I was like, dang, she paid, you know, I think it was like 12 classes or something. And she did it multiple times. So like I made good money with her. But she paid for it all up front at once. I was like, dang, this money is good. Like, but I didn't think about it. Like this was back in 2018. I didn't think about online teaching as like a full-time thing until the pandemic hit. And that's when like a lot of things went online and I started making a lot more money from online teaching than I was making in person. But before the pandemic, I never even thought that, oh, I could just teach online. I never thought about that. But anyways, like I think this goes back to the topic of the live stream. A lot of guys, you're looking for like the perfect I'm looking for let me be like 100% online from the beginning. You can do that, but like it'd be way faster if you did both. Like I understand you want to be like 100% online, but your life would be way better if you just get overseas doing teaching right now. So if a school offers you an in-person teaching job in a city that you like, and you're like, you're freaking miserable in America. Like you're miserable in America right now. You're not having a good time. But you're like, nah, man, let me wait until I get like the perfect setup. Like what? You could be living life in like the city that you want to be living in. You could start off with in-person. You can do online. You can do them both at the same time. You don't have to pick one or the other. You can do both. And then you can transition out of in-person teaching and just do 100% online. You can do that. That's what I did. That's what I recommend because it's the fastest way. Because the demand for in-person teaching is so high. But a lot of people are like, first of all, guys, let me tell you this. Let me give you some real stuff real quick. Let me tell you some real stuff. You might think that working 100% online remote, you're like, hey man, I wanna be able to travel, man. I wanna be able to travel and like I wanna work from that way I can travel whenever I want. Here's the truth, guys. You're probably not gonna travel as much as you think you're gonna travel. Like, traveling takes a lot of energy. Maybe in the beginning when you first start teaching online or you first get overseas, you might do a bit of traveling. But after you've been living overseas for a while, the amount of traveling you're going to do is going to decrease. So you're going to like, you might enjoy traveling a bit, but like in China, I rarely traveled in China, guys. You want to know why I rarely traveled? Because I really enjoyed my city. I rarely traveled because I really enjoyed my city. So once you touch down overseas and you're in a country that you really like, and you're in a city that you really like, you're probably not gonna travel that much. You're probably not gonna. I love my city so much. When I was in China, Chengdu, I loved it so much that I rarely left it. I would only leave my city for special occasions. Like, okay, I got a friend in the nearby city. I can take a train there, hang out. We'll have like me and the bros, we're gonna do like a weekend hangout in this next city. That's like the only real time. I was able to do that even when I was teaching in person. Like guys, I was teaching in person and online in China, and I did way more traveling than the average person you guys see overseas, bro. It's like, look at all those YouTube videos I filmed in China. I did that while I was teaching in person. So a lot of people just think, like, they think, oh man, I just want to teach from my computer because, I want to have freedom. But it's like, bro, you're probably not going to stay in your home all day. You're probably going to go out to a cafe or something because you want to be around other people. So you're basically going to commute, right? You're going to commute. You're going to be like, all right, let me take my computer somewhere else. I don't be inside the house all day. So anyway, just get an in-person job that doesn't take so many hours, that gives you free time. That's what I did. And I was able to travel as much as I want. Don't waste your life away in the States waiting for a perfect setup to get you overseas. Let me see what your topics are. Because Thailand's where I want it to be, and I don't want to be tied to a building or location, but I'll start in person. Babadook, you're tied to a building or location right now. Babadook, you're tied to America right now. Like when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, bro, you're in America right now. You're tied to your building and location that you go to work to every day right now. I would rather be tied to my building or location in a foreign country where there's beautiful women everywhere rather than like in the States. So that's why I think it's kind of crazy, right? It's crazy that so many guys they say like Babadook, man. I'm not trying to put you on blast, but a lot of guys say the same thing that you're doing, and they don't realize that you're tied to a situation right now. I'd rather be teaching in person in like Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Colombia, Brazil, what other countries? Japan, South Korea, China. I'd rather be teaching in person in those countries than like working in person in America. I guarantee you your life is going to be way better once you get overseas, bro. Stop waiting for the perfect time to get overseas. I need like the perfect situation. Like, no, you don't. Man, I need to like, you know, I need this perfect setup, man. If I don't get the perfect setup overseas, I'm just gonna stay miserable in the States. If I don't get the perfect life situation that I've been looking for overseas, I'm just gonna stay miserable in the States. That's what I'm gonna do. That's basically what a lot of you guys are saying. Spirit Airlines charged me for a carry-on. WTF. The flight from Houston was packed. I was coming from a conference with Theo. Oh yeah? You came from the scam conference? Francois is killing it in Kazakhstan. His vlogs are awesome. And his university job seems cool. Let me check out Francois. I haven't checked out his channel in a minute. Yeah. See what kind of content he up to. The thing about Francois is that he keeps it clean, right? Francois is actually pretty clean cut. He's like one of those. I think Francois is like a church guy. He's like a church boy. Learning English was the biggest. Yeah, I'm looking at his videos. It's pretty good. Yeah, so Francois is like very clean cut. He's very clean cut. He gives off like the squeaky clean image. I'm like the guy, I'm kind of like a scumbag. I'm like a big scumbag compared to him. Uh-oh, Francois got the Kazakh snow bunnies in this video, man. I wonder how good his Russian is by now. Let me watch some of his videos later. Francois puts out a lot of videos, man. I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say about his channel, but he puts out a lot more videos than me. But the average view count on his videos isn't that high. For me, if I put out 10 videos, at least one video is going to go viral. So if I put out like 10 videos, at least one video is going to go viral. Viral in terms of like getting like over 20,000 views or something. For Francois, I think maybe he's a little bit too clean cut. Because the guys who want to watch travel content, guys want to watch some booties clapping, they want to hear about some pay for play, some money getting spent on some cakes. That's what guys really want to hear. And Francois doesn't talk about that, so his videos don't really get tons of views. But it's okay, he might not care about that, you know. But yeah, if I had to guess, you know, I mean, I don't know if Francois definitely dates. Like, you know, he's definitely out here clapping cheeks, but he's not clapping them the way your boy Danny would be. Like, your boy Danny I was in Kazakhstan for 2 weeks, man. Your boy Danny was clapping it up big dog style, man. The Kazakh ladies treated your boy Danny good, man. That's why the guys were hating out there, man. They were mad. This black guy coming in here getting all the good booty, man. We gotta stop this. Kazakh women are beautiful. They're beautiful, but they're not worth fighting over. Like, Kazakh women are great, but they're not worth fighting over for me. And a lot of Kazakh women travel to Thailand, so. If I'm trying to work online for a school online that's in Thailand, I'm asking, I don't know why you'd care about where the school is located. I wouldn't care about where my online school is located as long as the money gets deposited in my bank account and they're doing what I want. Do you think you would be overseas teaching if you dropped out of college? Good question. Because the first place I went to, because look, these days, like I said, you have the option of like online teaching. Back when I first started, it was just basically in person. And the place I went to was South Korea. And South Korea has pretty strict standards when it comes to teaching in person. Like, a degree is kind of, you can get around it depending on the situation, but a degree might be required usually. But if I had known about China, I didn't know about China. China, you could go, over to China, get some teaching work. If I could go back in time, here's what I probably would have done. I would have studied abroad in China. I would have dropped all my course study in America, a freaking expensive university. I would have went to school in China. In China, one semester is like $1,000. I would pay for my whole 4 years of college. I would pay up front. I was like, okay, here's $8,000, take it. I would pay it all up front. And then I would go to school and I would teach English on the side. That's what a lot of university students do in China. Like, a lot of foreign students who come over to study in China, they teach English on the side. It's good money. It's a good life. You be in school during the day. I would have learned something. I would have learned Chinese, maybe. I have an engineering degree. I flex my degree a lot. I like to flex on like the tech bros, right? I like to flex on the tech bros because I'm a tech bro. I just chose to like work a different path. I like to flex on them. But like, if I was gonna just choose a degree that was like, that I was actually interested in, that I was like, hey, this would have long-term use for me, I would have studied Chinese. Yeah, pretty much. I would have studied language. Yeah, that would have been good. Is in-person teaching best in China because of the types of hours you had? That's a difficult question to answer. In China, you just have so much variety of what you can do because China's a gigantic country. When I was in South Korea, I didn't really see a lot of foreigners doing things outside of teaching. Like Japan and South Korea. Japan and South Korea are the kind of countries where you're kind of limited as a foreigner in what you can do in those countries. You're kind of limited. But in China, you have like a big variety of things you can do. Like, you can be like an actor, start your own restaurant, blah, blah, blah. You can do all kind of cool stuff. But when I was in Korea, I didn't see like a lot of opportunity outside of teaching. Those societies are kind of closed off to foreigners. Japan and South Korea are kind of closed off to outsiders. Even with the volcanic eruption, I'd rather be in the Philippines than in the States. Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, China was good just for everything. Like, you know, in China, the demand is so high that you can pick and choose a lot. It's like, I'm very picky guy. Like, I reject a lot of work, especially in China. Like, I had people offering me work. I had someone hit me up the other day. One of my older clients hit me up with some work. Yeah, it's like, but I can be picky. I can be like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing that. I did that a lot in China. I turned down a lot of work. Okay, you know your boy Danny, I want to have free time to crack open some buns, man. I can't be working me like a slave. Flight, remember you left the States when you were young and didn't have anything. Most guys already have built a life. Why rush to go overseas to live a life of poverty less than what you have home? So that's the thing, Nonchalant B. Your definition of poverty, like poverty. I've said this before, and like for you guys who watch my Friday live streams, when I go grocery shopping, like I went grocery shopping yesterday. I got like a bunch of stuff like $40. So I got like a week's worth of groceries for like $40. And I got like some extra stuff too. So like if I didn't get all the extra stuff, it probably would have been like, you know, 30 something dollars. You call it a life of poverty, but you can live really good in a city like Pattaya. $1,000 a month, 1,200 we better, 1,500 great, 2,000 oh yeah, 3,000 cheeks clapping 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but you can have your fill. But anyway, the point is, Nonchalant B, a lot of guys are miserable in the States. Maybe you're not miserable, but like a lot of other people are miserable with their life in the States. So they're waiting for like the perfect situation to get overseas when they're already miserable in the States. It's like, you're looking at it from like a money perspective. Like, okay, you're making less money overseas than you would in the States, so you're gonna need less money overseas. So yeah, that's my perspective on that. Yeah, like you'll live better overseas on a lower salary than you'll live on a higher salary in the States. It's just what it is, bro. It's just how it is, man. Now you might call that poverty, but it's all right. Talk to me later after I got like 2 girls coming over later tonight, doing my thing like that, bruh. Well, you call it poverty. I'm like, all right, this poverty is great, bruh. What was your Kazakh body count? More than one. I'll put it that way. More than one. Good luck saving 8 to 10K in the States making minimum wage. I probably would have took out a loan. I would have took out some kind of student loan or something like that. I don't know if they provide student loans for studying abroad. I would have found a way. I'm 26 and live like crap and can live like crap still. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't know why you guys think you'd be living like crap. I'm not sure where Nonchalant B keeps saying, like, you said this before, Nonchalant B, like, oh, going overseas, you're going to be living like poverty. I don't think so. I think you'll be living a better life overseas, even if you're making less money than in the States. There are a bunch of content creators on YouTube who always make, I have to go back to the States to prove they're not making money, guys and women. I mean, I don't know those guys, man. I don't know what guys you're talking about. But you're on the Danny Flight, you know, you're on the Flight Madness YouTube channel, man. So if you're going to be talking about someone, you need to be talking about this guy right here. Don't be talking about other content creators on my channel saying this is how they live, so therefore Danny lives the same way. If you're going to be talking about someone, you need to be talking about this guy right here. Because the plan that I'm giving you guys for life might be different than what those people are giving you. It's probably very different. So don't put me in the same box like, oh man, I see all these other content creators living in poverty. That means that what Danny is also talking about is living in poverty. Like, no. Like a lot of these guys, like they want to be content creators. That's different than being an English teacher. Content creation's like a very unstable thing, especially a travel content creator. So you're trying to live off that. You're trying to live off YouTube AdSense. That's why you got these people like Johnny Somali and who's that one dude, Rello. They go to all these different countries causing trouble because they need money for donations, right? So they go over to these other countries and they cause trouble. They crash out. They crash out for cash from their followers. Jerome, message me over Facebook or Instagram. Did I put you in contact with my guy who helps for jobs in Vietnam? Jerome, did I put you in contact with my guy who helps with jobs? You probably should know him. Alright guys, looks like the comments have stopped. I guess I've rambled on for enough time. I think you guys know we've gone for 90 minutes. Good live stream though. But yeah, just to sum it up, man, there's no perfect time to go overseas, man. There's probably never gonna, I mean, I don't think there's a such thing as a perfect time. Like, you might get lucky and things happen perfectly, but if you're waiting for the situation to get perfect before you like finally make the jump, I think you're making a mistake. I highly suggest getting started as soon as possible. You know, hit me up, message me, Danny at flightmadness.com. Get the free Quickstart English teaching guide. It's all in the description of this video. I'll leave this live stream up for a little bit before I take it and put it in the private members only. Oh yeah, for you guys who want exclusive content, man, I got exclusive content, man. Members only videos. Sign up for the Bot Bros Club. Jerome, I haven't put you in touch with my guy who does like the jobs. Message me, bro. You're the only one who we see truly has been living this lifestyle before YouTube. Yeah. Like I didn't even want to do YouTube in the beginning. I didn't want to do YouTube, and I just thought, like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, now I really enjoy it. I've been living this lifestyle for going on 12 years now. There's a reason guys keep asking how much money can you make teaching online. Nobody wants to go live overseas just off the hopes that I can get some box. Actually, a lot of guys do want to do that. A lot of people want to go overseas off the hopes that they can get some box. That's actually like 80% of the people who are in this travel space nonchalant be like, they are driven by the desire for box. The videos, the travel videos pertaining to how to get booty get the most views. That's what people really want. Like, what do you think people are coming over here for, bro? Like, yeah, they want a better life, blah, blah, blah. But like 80% of it is like women related. I'll admit you're living a cool life, but you've been doing it for a while. We won't have your life so easily. No, it's gonna be, bro. I'm not really sure what your goal is. Like, your goal is like to watch these English teaching live streams and then just say, oh, I could never do that, or it's gonna be difficult. And why do you, and here's the thing you just said, easily. You won't have this life so easily. So put the work in and get the life. It won't be easy, so don't try it, guys. This thing Danny's doing right here, it won't be easy, man. Just stay in the States, man. Stay miserable. here's the thing he's saying, it's not easy, so let's just not try it all, right? Let's not try it all. Right, like, you guys are supposed to be men, right? Men are supposed to be able to handle difficult things. Being a man means that you handle stuff, even if it's not easy, you put the work in to get it done. But if you're just saying, oh man, it won't be easy, so I'm not gonna try it all. Like, what kind of man are you, bro? Like, come on, get out of here with all that. Jerome says he joined the Bot Bros Club yesterday. Shout out to Jerome, man. Shout out to Jerome. I see the sticker near his name. He's an official Bot Bro. But yeah, man, you guys are supposed to be men, man. You're supposed to be men. Stop looking for everything to be easy. Like, put in a little bit of work. And your definition of easy, like, it's not gonna be, what is difficult? Is it gonna be like back-breaking work where, like, you know, what is difficult? What do you actually think difficult is? Like, this is basically as easy as it can get, bro. It's like, come on. All you gotta do is, like, apply for jobs. Is that difficult? Like, you think that's it? When did I ever say don't try? No, it's not B. I just think that your perspective on things is pretty negative. You're like one of those people who just sits behind a keyboard and, like, comes up with reasons to not do stuff. You tell guys come overseas, live off $1,000 a month. I don't say do that. I say you can do that. I mean, I show my cost of living. I show a potential cost of living. I show, like, okay, you can live, you know, you can do it. Now, I wouldn't want to do it. Well, actually, no. If I was miserable in the States, like a lot of you guys, like the life I see you guys live in the States, I would come overseas and live in patio on $1,000 a month. I would do that. But anyways, nonchalant B, bro, if you don't think it's possible or you think it's, like, too difficult, then what are you watching me for? Like, what are you here for? You know, you don't have to watch. Like, if you just, you know, I that's why I help guys. I help guys get overseas. Oh, speaking of, I guess if you guys want help, I'll offer you my consultation service. You can sign up for my consultation service. So if it's not easy, like we got this guy saying, oh man, it won't be easy. If it won't be easy, that's what you can hire me for. Make it easy for you. Make it easier for you. And the whole point of this live stream is like, hey, get started. Get started. And then you can gradually, like, improve your lifestyle. Like, get started overseas. If you guys want to hit the Cash App, then, you know, why not? Might as well throw that link for you. Yeah. It won't be easy, guys. Yeah, it won't be easy. Or it can be easy if you work with me. If you try to do it yourself, then yeah, it might be a little difficult. You try to do it without, like, expert assistance. Your boy Danny's been doing this for 12 years, so if you really want to do it and you want to make it as easy as possible, if you want to make it as easy as possible, that's what you hired me for. I make it easy for you. And the whole point of today's live stream is saying, hey, find a good enough setup to help you get overseas comfortably and then gradually improve your life from there. So, if that's all I needed to support my girl and our kids, I would have left last week. You're being disingenuous, bro. I support you in your method, but you have to be practical and set your foundation. Please be more specific, nonchalant B. Please be more specific. Will you ever move back to China? Probably. I could get, like, an apartment. I guess long term I could get, like, an apartment in China. But it's like I told you guys, right? This fantasy that guys have of, like, okay, I'm going to live overseas and I'm going to be traveling around all the time. Probably not. It's like, if I had an apartment in China, I probably would rarely see it because, like, I feel so comfortable here. It's like, I could just visit China. I don't need to have multiple apartments. But anyway, here's what just to summarize everything. I recommend getting a decent setup and moving overseas as fast as possible. Don't wait, because, like, the more you wait, the longer things are gonna, like, keep you from, getting overseas. So get overseas as fast as possible and try to, like, improve your life from there. So you can start different side hustles. You start like some online side hustles, some business stuff. Look for other opportunities on the ground, etc. Build skills, continue your education, but get overseas as soon as you can without delaying. I know guys, like, literally, like, as you can see in my chat, there are guys who, like, come up with a variety of reasons to not go overseas, and every year, I got guys who've been watching me for over a year, and it's like, okay, what's the difference between you this year and last year? Compared to, like, if you had just moved overseas, like, got a job locked in place, had some income going in, and just got started. And yeah, it gets difficult when you get older, right? Like, it's easier to do. You have less attachments when you're like early 20s or whatever. But that's why you want to move faster, because, like, the longer you wait, it's like, okay, let me wait more years. I can wait, you're deeper in your 30s. You get locked down further in the state. It becomes harder to leave. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to leave. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is to leave. So, but it's up to you guys, It's like, I'm having a great time over here. So, if you want to have a great time over here, I recommend English teaching. It's the fastest way to get overseas making money. Yeah. No one has called me out and said, hey, Danny, you're wrong about that. The fastest way to make consistent money overseas that way too. Like, fast way to go overseas making consistent money. Yeah, bro. You taught English in South Korea and China because of your degree. You found English teaching because of your coworker. You had time to build income and make connections. You have to literally uproot. Yeah, so I'm saying that it's difficult the longer you wait. So get started earlier. Let me see, because you're a coworker. You found English teaching because of your coworker. I found English teaching when I was in university because I was looking for a way to get overseas. I found English teaching because I was looking to, like, move overseas, and I was like, okay, how can I do that? Should I study overseas, or, I can do teaching? Okay. That's how it happened to me. And then when I got overseas, opportunities opened up to me. So that's why I'm saying, like, there are countries where you can teach without a degree. So get yourself overseas, get yourself a decent setup in those countries, and then do what I did, where it's just gradually expand. But yeah, like, for you guys who are, like, in your late 20s, early 30s, it's going to be more difficult because you got to detach from America. You got to detach from America to, like, get overseas. But you'll find more opportunity once you actually get overseas. So that's why I say get a decent setup overseas. Get the income coming in. Like, that's why I recommend in person and online at the same time. That way you have two sources of income before you move overseas. And then get yourself overseas, living that life. And gradually, like, gradually or not gradually, you might already have some stuff in motion before you leave America. And moving overseas just gives you more free time and a better lifestyle while you're building that, But there are multiple ways to skin a cat. Anyway, I think I've repeated myself enough times today. Great job today. Uproot our lives and sacrifice. Other than box, most guys are not looking to set a foundation. Guys keep asking you every live how much money you can make English teaching online. I've answered that multiple times, and I put in the free Quickstart guide too, like thousands of dollars a month. But yeah, if you're not willing to uproot your life and sacrifice, then yeah. I could have easily just stayed in America and, like, worked an engineering job, but I uprooted myself from that situation to get overseas. I uprooted myself from the life of an engineer, like a comfortable. I could have worked in an office job, got an apartment there, blah, blah, blah. I could have done that, but I uprooted myself. Hey, it's not going to be easy. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is. Exactly. Get started now. Because the longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to get. You have to want the life you say bad enough and take the leap. Guys want a number, not thousand. 1,000 to give an exact number. How much money you asking me how much money you can make teaching online. You ask me how much money you can make. The answer is thousands of dollars a month. Thousands. Thousands. Multiple thousands. And also depends on how much you want to work. All right, but anyway, Nonchalant B, it seems like you're not really interested in what I'm offering, so I'm not really sure what do you want. But anyway, great job, great talking with you guys, man. Great talking to you guys. Look at my free Quickstart English teaching guide. I put numbers in there for guys who are asking about numbers of money, how much you can make doing certain jobs. And you get to pick your own lifestyle. So if you want to work a lot of hours and make more money, you can do that. If you want to work less hours and have more time for partying, fun, and girls, you can do that. You can have a variety of choices. And the numbers change depending on the part of the world you live in. If you want to live in the Middle East, like Dubai, UAE, I know guys cracking 6 figures over there tax-free. You can be doing that. And the lifestyle over there, I just spoke to a guy. He's in somewhere in the UAE, the Middle East. He's doing really well over there, and he wants to relocate over here to Asia. But you got different options, man. So, yeah. Anyways, I said enough. All right, guys. Great job on the live. Been great talking with you guys, and yeah. New video dropping within 24 hours, I think. All right. Good talking with you guys. Join the Bot Bros Club, man. Click the join button under this video. Click the link. You can be over here. Well, Bot Bros Club, I put like a lot of exclusive content back there just to show you guys, a deeper look into the flight madness, man. I got some members only videos. Oh yeah, I think, and you guys are asking about money. Like Nonchalant B keeps asking about money. I think I got like a couple videos back there in like the Bot Bros Club where I break down exact numbers. So yeah, click the join button on this video. Check out the English teaching stuff, man. And get overseas fast, man. Like, stop coming up with excuses. Come up with ways that it can work. One thing I discovered in life is like, come up with ways that something can work, rather than just coming up with a bunch of reasons why it's not gonna work. Or, oh, it's gonna be difficult, man. It won't be as easy. It won't be as easy as how Danny did it. Okay, well, do it anyway. And who says it won't be as easy? Like, making these assumptions, making negative assumptions. But anyway. But you guys see, man, like I leave my chat open. Like I leave, like, if you want to come and criticize me, if you want to like come and like say, Danny, you're being disingenuous, the live stream chat is open. The live stream chat is open. I allow anyone to come through and basically like say whatever they want to say. If you want to criticize me, you want to say like, Danny, like people can't do that, you're free to say it. You're free to say whatever. I haven't blocked anybody. My mods might block people, but I typically, unless you're like spamming the chat, it's like, well, I'm going back and forth with this guy Nonchalant B. Is like, okay, like what do you want, bro? Like what do you actually want? I'm showing you a path to get overseas. I'm showing you my method. I'm giving you ranges of money you can make depending on what you want to do, how many hours you want to work. You ask vague questions. If you ask vague questions, you're gonna get vague answers. But yeah, anyway, great job talking to you guys, man. I enjoy the live stream. Been going on for almost 2 hours. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.